iRockRadio, the world headquarters of rock. It is Karolyi backstage at the Worcester Pallidium in Massachusetts with Alex from Trivium. How are you, man?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Have you ever been in the Pallidium in Worcester before?
I've played this place like 4 or 5 times.
Really?
Yeah.
There's something about the Worcester audience that's different from anything in our region. We're from Connecticut, so you know, you got Hartford, you got New Haven, you got all the areas, Providence. But there's something about the Worcester audience. It's a very rock audience. Have you experienced that as a musician as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually just talking to someone about it today, about how this is actually one of my favorite places to play in the U.S., honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I like the vibe. You know, the venue's really cool. The people are cool. I like that old theater look it's got going on. So, yeah, I enjoy this place. I'm always excited to play here.
It's got to be something when, the audience gives the band energy and vice versa, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, good energy. We feed off of it, so it's like everybody participates, and it just makes for an overall great show.
So you've been in a bunch of bands. You've been doing your thing for a while now, but now here you are in Trivium. So give us the snapshot of how did that even come about? Like, how do you become the drummer?
Oh, man. Trivium? It just came down to like me doing my thing with other bands and them hearing about me. I mean, they like knew who I was, but it really came together with mutual friends. Like when it really came down to it, and they were like, okay, we need like the guy. We need someone solid. There was mutual friends that just said, hey, Alex is there. And they're like, yeah, like we definitely know his name. We know his work, so why don't we fly him out here and hang out, jam for a little bit. And then from there, it was like day one, we were just going for it. It all kind of fell into place.
Was it nervousness on your part, or were you just did your thing?
I really just kind of did my thing. I mean, I'm always like, jamming with people for the first time. I get, like, oh man, I want to do a good job. But I just went in there and did my thing, and they really enjoyed it, and I had a good time jamming with them. And from there on, it was like history.
They always talk over the years about all the bands that have had some of the greatest success. A lot of it comes from chemistry. Yeah. So for you to be in a band with anybody, really, it's got to work with all the different parts.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is it about the chemistry with you and the guys that? What's the connection? Do you think is it similar taste in music, similar background, what is it that?
I'd say, I mean, it's really all the above. I mean, music, but also just things in general. I mean, we share a lot of like the same interests. We like going out and walking around and getting food, and I'll train jiu-jitsu with Matt every once in a while, or talk about music with Corey and Paolo. Like we all just kind of vibe. We all get along. We have a lot of the same interests, and I think that's a big part of it. Is having a lot in common.
When did you start playing drums?
I started when I was 11.
Really?
Yeah.
So what brought you to it? Like, what was it that came along that said, I want to try that?
Just watching music videos and stuff, really. I would always pay attention to the drummer, and I remember I was watching a music video from the band Yellow Card back in the day, and it kept showing the drummer every time he would do cool stuff, and I was like, I want to be that guy. How do I be that guy? And my dad's a musician, so he always had instruments, around the house. He had his drum set in the garage, and I was just like, Dad, I want to set that thing up and try this. And, right away I was playing, beats, like playing along to Michael Jackson stuff and pop punk stuff, just trying to learn. And once YouTube came around, that really was like the game changer for me. Like anytime someone says like, well, who'd you take lessons from? I'm like, well, YouTube was my teacher,
Really?
Yeah. So I got really deep into it then, and, just always every day for like hours, just like looking at, guys like Buddy Rich and Dave Weckl, Tony Worchester Jr., I mean, you could get really lost in YouTube for a while, so yeah, that was kind of how I ended up doing it. And then, started touring right out the gate. Like right after high school, I just was like, I want to do it. I want to get out on the road, and I want to start experiencing things. And then from then on, it's been like climbing a ladder, just band to band to band,
What was your first kit you played?
First kit was a Pearl Export, like an old one. It was my dad played it when he was a teenager. So it was.
You still have it?
Yeah, still have it.
Is that something you'll always keep?
Always, yeah. It's, I mean, it's been in our family for a while, so it's kind of like my baby, So white Pearl Export, it's awesome. It still sounds great too.